Many of you all know that the Razer Deathadder V3 Pro is an absolute dream mouse for me. If I was to design a mouse myself, this is what it would be. The shape is phenomenal, but as we know with the wireless version here, as I did my long-term review on it, which you can go check out, the build quality of this mouse sucks. Well, Razer came out with the Razer Deathadder V3 wired version here. Again, I did a standalone review of this. It was kind of weird being a wired mouse, but again, I love the shape of this mouse so stinking much. I've been using it since day one, and I had to find out, is it any better than the wireless version as far as that build quality? And there's really no other area we can start as far as these mice when we're talking about the build other than the coating, because it is drastically different. If you look at the wireless version, as you all are very used to, it has that PBT kind of textured coating on it right there. You can see it fading away on my 1 and 2s a little bit. If I bring it down, get some light in it, right there. You can see on my button, it's kind of shining out a little bit, just like you see on a keycap. But again, the texture of this is that grippy, kind of textured feeling rather than a smooth. Look, you can see it right there on my thumb area as well. So now let's go and take a look at the wired version here. Well, you can see a lot of just sweat and grease marks on it over here on the one just kind of sliding out there. Kind of gross, right? That's because this is just that basic, smooth, kind of painted feel, right? Maybe, I don't know if we'd say G Pro, because G Pro's kind of got like that almost, I don't know what I say, rubber texture. This just feels like a straight up smooth plastic. You can see me just rubbing it just like that, and you get your fingerprints on it. So that's one very big difference right out of the gate there as far as build, is the texture. Me personally, I prefer the grippy, kind of textured sandpaper feel, keycap feel, you know? But we can see it's giving way. If I continue using this more, it's just gonna get worse. Me using the wireless one for an extensive period of time, well, it's almost like the texture has given away already by itself. So, is that a pro or a con? I don't know. That's a weird one right there, because we can look at it as a pro. It's like, okay, well, there's nothing to give way on it, so heck, it's better. But again, I do prefer the grippy texture. Now, when you take a look spec to spec of both of these mice, really awesome to see them both packing the exact same. When it comes to that sensor, it comes to the switches or anything like that, to the shape, exact same. And that's what makes these mice so stinking phenomenal. Again, the shape, the feel in the hand, the specs it's packing, it is fantastic. But now, talking about what's not so fantastic is the build quality. And I covered this before in my follow-up review of the Razer Deathadder V3 Pro. This thing just has some flex, some serious side flex on both sides. So I was thinking, okay, you know what? Let me go on and take the fault right here. I'm using the heck out of this mouse. I am a firmer gripper, and I play quite extensively on Destiny and Call of Duty, which is a little more faster paced, right? So I was like, all right, maybe I'm being a little rough on it. Let me cut it some slack. But no, I was actually using a Razer Deathadder V3 Pro wireless version on my work computer as well, where I edit videos. And yes, I have the exact same flex right over here. Like I don't know if they can't, let me see. I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but I am barely. I'm just tapping it over here. So imagine whenever you're gaming or whatever, like it's even over here on the pinky side. My gosh, it is just horrible. And this is a $150 mouse. All right. So we're not here to bash the wireless version. I already did that before, right? What we're here to talk about is the wired version. Is it any better? And with me using this again since day one it came out, pretty much the same type of style and extensiveness I've been using the wireless version on, yes. This wired one is rock solid. I don't have a lick of flex on it. None whatsoever. I mean, it is just incredibly solid. It really is. And again, using it the exact same as I've used the wireless version. So that's just weird, right? Like I got two wireless mice over here that's ridiculously flex on it, you know? Again, could we still put the fault on me? I'm always down to take the blame and then figure it out from there, right? I got the Deathadder V3 Pro, the Thacker one, if I'm saying that right. I don't want to say that wrong, you know what I mean? Anyways, I got this mouse, just unboxed it, right? Didn't even use it or anything. And whenever I press on it, I can see I got the flex on the outside already. Now that flex is not on the inside yet, but I can just see that flex on the outside, and I know whenever I start to use it, it's going to happen. So no, it's just a flaw with the build of this mouse. Now, when we look at the build of these mice from the underside, well, they're pretty much the exact same, which again is the mind boggler for me. You can see that glossy side right there, and then it goes into that top shell. Now, when I started looking close to these mice, you can see they are a little bit different. I doubt the camera can pick this up, but if you can see, the wireless one kind of separates into a different plastic shell up there, resulting in more places for connection or whatever, however, glue or whatever they're doing right there. Coming over here to the wireless one, if you see right there, you got your charging port. It is one complete piece going all the way around to this. Again, over here, where it's separating right in there by the wire. Gosh, I wish I had a macro lens so you guys could see this. But again, it does separate and connect up there again, when again, the wireless one is one piece. So looking at that difference right on the front of the mouse, is that what's causing the flex on the wireless one and not the wired one? I honestly have no idea. So what I wanna do is something I usually would never do on a product I love so stinking much. But again, it's so bad I don't even use this mouse. What I wanna do is go and take this mouse apart, look inside and see what is connected on the inside there, resulting in that flex or lack of connection. So give me a second. Let's go ahead and gather some stuff up here. We're gonna need some screwdrivers here. We're gonna need a knife to get those feet off. And then we're gonna have a heat gun to make that a little easier. Whoopsie daisy, I got a little too close with my heat gun there and started melting the mouse. Maybe we can melt it to stick together so it won't flex. There's an idea. Oh wow, so check this out. When you get the feet off underneath here, you can see it's actually got little holes down in the bottom, which again is for that weight reduction. Now our screws are actually little hex screws here. Hopefully I got a little screwdriver in this little kit here that will work on those to get it. Perfecto. And let's go ahead and just peel this back. So no, we don't have any more screws underneath there. Just actually more holes. And I wonder if they made those holes on, look at it, it's no pattern or anything. So I wonder if they made those holes like that to reduce the weight on some certain side. That's pretty cool right there. Pop it open. Let's get that open. How do we get that little doodad out? So now we have our mouse apart here. And what I want to do first is show you each piece just so you can have a look over it just like I did, right? Again, there's the side where the other top shell will kind of clip onto the side right there. You got a little notch over there. When you look at the other side over here as well, you can see it right there. What I want you to focus on is 1, 2, 3 right here on the side where the thumb, and then up here where it is flat. All right, now let's go ahead and get the top shell. I want to show you the top shell here as well. So again, 1, 2, 3, where it's catching on to those 3 that we showed you over on the other side. Then same over here. And when you look at the mouse like this, how it would get put back together, snapping in right there, you can see those 3 notches are right here on the thumb, but then when you come up towards the front, well, you don't have those anymore. It goes 3, a pretty significant space, and then into 1 right up there. When over here, you have 3 right there. Looking on the opposite side, pretty much the exact same thing. You got those 3 notches right there, and then up here you have nothing. But the other thing I want to show you a little closer here is the 3 connection points within the top shell. 1, 2, 3. You have them on the other side as well right here. And what I think is happening is over time, again, just minimal amount, it's loosening up and just opening up that little slight cut, that little groove that's in there. Hopefully you guys can see with one of these angles, you can see it right in the middle of each connection point, and that's going to result in, again, more of that flex. So you got the combination, no connection point up here, and these just losing weight, losing some strength over time, that is going to create more flex. So I know what you're asking. Well, is that exactly how the wired one's built? I'm sorry, I am not going to take apart my wired one because I absolutely love this mouse. And again, it's not giving me any issues so far. What my honest take here is, and we see this a lot in mice these days, right? We're all trying to get the lightest weight mice out there, wireless being the top of the game as well, right? So you want that lightweight wireless mouse. Where can you cut corners to do that? And I think stuff like this, again, however, I'm not in, again, the development team or anything like that, so I don't know the background stuff, but what I'm just putting together here is I feel like we're trying to cut too many corners to keep that wireless mouse lightweight. Let's just make it a little more rock solid. Who cares if it's a little bit heavier? At the end of the day, a solid product is better than a flexy piece of junk, no good product. And believe it or not, as much as I love wireless products, from headsets, mice, heck, keyboards, I love wireless. But it brings me right back to the wired Deathadder V3. You know, I don't even care that it's a little bit lighter. I don't even care that it has 8,000 polling rate. I had 4,000 on the wireless one. That stuff is just like whatever. But more than any of that, I love a solid product. And I love recommending solid products. So yes, it is weird. It feels weird to me recommending you a wired mouse this day and age. But again, I praise this shape so much. It is hands down the best for any of us medium to large ergo fans. This is a shape you need to try. Don't waste your $150 on the wireless one. Go on and get the wired one, because it is that much better.